Three-quarters of the members of a key government board have quit over issues with the Trump administration. The Washington Post reports 9 of the 12 people on the National Park Service Advisory Board resigned on Monday. The group advises the federal government on managing America's national parks. The move leaves that without a functioning body to designate national historic or national landmarks. The board's chair, former Alaska Governor Tony Knowles, wrote in the resignation letter, "Our requests to engage have been ignored, and the matters on which we wanted to brief the new department team are clearly not a part of its agenda." Joining us now is former Alaska Governor Tony Knowles. He's also president of the National Energy Policy Institute. Tony, thanks so much for joining us. What exactly is going on here? Was nobody listening to you? Was Ryan Zinke not around?
Well, thank you for having me on and giving a chance to explain what was really a very difficult decision for the members of the advisory board. Many of us had worked for the last 7 years making policy advice on our national parks. We worked on areas like climate change and science and park planning and education and how to reach out to underrepresented minorities to bring them into our parks and into the Park Service. And these were exciting times, and we had the complete cooperation of the National Parks Director and the Secretary of Interior. And that suddenly changed with the change of administrations. We knew that there would be a transition time in getting boards back into action with a change in government. But we told that we were suspended. The activity was suspended. And there was no reason why that happened, and no reason as to how, and no explanation of how long it would be. And as we waited 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months, we got no answer. I wrote a letter to the secretary on behalf of the board asking that we please have an opportunity to present to the secretary and his team the issues that we were working on and to hear from them where they wanted to go and to take the department.
And what are the...
So that's why it was very difficult to make that decision. But we decided that rather than, if we can't give advice to the director and to the secretary, then we wanted to make a statement to the American people.
Well, what are the risks without you guys?
I'm sorry?
What are the risks for the national parks without you guys, without this board?
Well, you know, an advisory board is just that. We're an advisory board, and you can take the advice or you can ignore it. So I don't know that there's any great risks. It's just that the policies that we have seen come down without the dialogue with citizens involved with their government, which is generally thought of as a good thing. Without that dialogue, decisions get made. There's very little explanation of it. They're not vetted. And the direction that we have seen the National Park Service going is one that is deeply disturbing and concerning.
Does this administration care about the national parks?
Is what?
Does this administration care about the national parks?
Well, you know, they'll have to explain that. The fact of the matter is that with the last National Parks Director, who worked very hard over 2 or 3 years in formulating and vetting and working with all stakeholders about some new organization for the national park system to deal with the policies that we need to do to make this right for the 21st century. The first thing that the new secretary did without discussion was rescind those orders. So that was a signal to us that there was a problem. Little things that were done without consultation, again, made us feel that the administration was not interested in citizen participation.
Former Alaska Governor Tony Knowles. Governor Tony, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And